First off, rest in peace, neighborhood Nip. I ain't crip, but I'm on that neighborhood shoot. Building business, it's that black owned. If you hustle, better hustle till your pack gone. If you work, better work till your back hurt. And if you rap, make it better than your last verse. Yeah, more lyrics. Stick and move, Javante
AJ, El Presidente, Eddie Kane University. Heal gon' heal, regardless. You, Buchanan, Bethel High School, by way of 3-Man Weave, LLC.
Michelle, producer, Faith Over Fear.
You can catch this wave from the Marlins to the Mariners. Doing things you can't believe. It's the 3-Man Weave.
Oh, man.
Yo. I don't even know where to begin.
Oh, man. Is this thing on?
It's been a long time without you, my friend. Man, we are back again with another episode of the 3-Man Weave podcast. I couldn't tell you what episode this thing is because guess what? It's been a little minute. We'll get into that in a little bit, though. But without further ado, man, for those who do not remember, I am AJ, one of the amazing hosts of the 3-Man Weave podcast. And who do I have with me?
It's still your boy Hill. And Hill gonna heal regardless, baby. And let's get it. Oh, man.
It's the true test.
This is not the true test. Because first off, before I get to that part, I just wanted to wish everybody a Happy New Year. You know what I'm saying? I hope everybody
Happy New Year, man.
Hope everybody reach their goals that they're about to set and achieve, and a prosperous new year. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But I don't know how many times we're gonna keep doing this or we're gonna be back. But when we do come back, you can catch us on all major podcast platforms, 3-Man Weave, Instagram, Twitter, 3-Man Weave _. You can email us at podcast.3.man.weave@gmail.com.
Flawless victory.
Come on, man. It's just
that
like
boy ain't missed the beat. That boy is good.
It's like riding the bike, baby.
Man, it does. And you know what? At least something feels like a little normal, man, because we took some time off. I don't know if the people understand or know why we took some time off. Why did we take some time off here?
We are true fans, and we are true fans of two teams in particular that definitely they continuously break our soul, and things happened this season in particular. I know for myself, it happened right before the season in regards to the trade of Micah. You know, that let me further know that this season right here, once again, that this season was sabotaged and winning was not the priority, at all. And it was like, what is the point, bro? Like, you give yourself your all, and that's not even for, like I said, I do also do Dallas Duo as well. And, it's a cowboy oriented show. And it was like, what is the point, bro? Like you're doing all this work, this research, and, focusing on your team and wanting your team to prosper, like you said. And he just took it took everything. It took the joy out of doing this. What we call this podcast here, man. So it's like I had to take a step back, and then for me personally, while we were taking a step back, I felt like the way I was watching stuff, it seemed like the game is in a nasty place. Period, bro. Like like kudos to everybody that have broke the algorithm and got themselves into a good rotation of being seen and visibility and getting everything that they put forth, the effort that they put forth and getting everything that comes to them. And shouts out to them, man. Appreciate it. But at the same time, it's a lot of goofiness going on. And like I know I heard somebody in particular tell me it was like, once you start, and they found you by doing something goofy or a hot take or something, you have to continue that to keep them people. And it's like, bro, if that's what I got to do to keep these people, bro, I can't see myself doing it. So that was another reason why, like, personally for me, I took a step back because, like I said, man, the game is getting nasty. Like, our whole foundation was, transitioning from changing the narrative from the mainstream media, and it seemed like the mainstream media is
getting worse.
Yeah, they're not even trying anymore at this point. Like, they got exposed, and they're just doubling down on the nasty, the goofiness, the takes, So it's that was the reason why I took a step back.
Yeah, and at the end of, like, when it really all boils down to it, we're doing this, but like we're fans first, And so because we are fans first, and of course, as all of our supporters know, like, hey, we do this because the love of the game, like this is fun for us. But if we can't have fun just kind of talking about our teams, then like it almost makes this feel like work, and this was never supposed to feel like work, and we don't ever want it to feel like work. And I think I'm gonna really sound like Joe Burrow, but damn, it was like I wanna have fun doing this, and a fun thing for me is like let me at least have fun, watching my team. And when I say have fun, I don't even necessarily mean like, damn, let's go out and win a Super Bowl. I've been a diehard fan and have never seen one. So it's not just, oh, if we're not winning, I can't enjoy it. It's like almost knowing that, hey, there were some things that made last season a disappointment. And it was almost like you didn't care. It's like you punted on it and just said, we're going to run it back with the same thing we had last year without even trying to upgrade it, be intentional about upgrading. It's just like, all right, we're going to hope and just see if some stuff work out. And I know like a lot of it is hoping to see stuff work out, but I at least want to look as if you're trying. And to me, it didn't look as if you're trying. And if you're not trying and if you don't care, why am I caring? Why do I care? Because at the end of the day, like, y'all make y'all millions, y'all billions, and I'm just here cheering. So it's like, you know what? I'll watch, but nah, it is what it is. Like, I don't feel like we've still had our back and forth personal conversations about our teams, and we still even got worked up a little bit about our teams. But it was to a certain extent, and like you said, the extra work that it takes to actually do this, it felt more like work than just a fun conversation, once a week that spills over from the conversations that we've already had. It was like it felt taxing. Because at the end of the day, really, like, I don't want to talk about this shit no more.
It was funny. We had a conversation before the season. We was like, yo, are we going to renew our PFF joint, our NFL Plus, so we, say we can get to all 22? It was like, no, bro. Like, no. Like, we not doing that this year. So it's like, it was another thing. But you brought me into my first tangent of what I want to talk about throughout the season. And it goes out to other teams as well. And I know for a fact that, for me, this probably was birthed by me being scorned, but I'm going to sound like Mike Tomlin. The process and the results are two different things.
Absolutely.
And what I mean by that is, prime example, let's use the Packers, for example. They traded for Micah. The process of them trading for Micah put them in contention regular, they could compete to a contending team.
A favorite, because people they were some people's Super Bowl picks still prior to the season, but you go out and make a move like that puts you solely in that conversation of like, oh, y'all want to get there. You're trying to show people that that's what you want.
So And so they also went in the draft and drafted a wide receiver in the first round, since they haven't done that in how long? And
Yeah.
So what they did was submitted themselves in the preseason or beginning of the season as true contenders. And then they went on through the season, and the season was looking okay. It had some ebbs and flows of, okay, are they for real? Nah, I don't believe in the Packers. Oh, nah, these are the Packers we thought it was going to be.
Right.
Okay, you fast forward. Okay, Micah tears his ACL late. That's unfortunate. We do understand that injuries happen, but at the same time, that's a result.
Right.
That's something that you can't plan for. He doesn't have
football. That's football.
He doesn't have an extensive injury history that you can just be like, well, hey man,
you traded for an injury, like someone who's been injured throughout their career.
It just happened. So it's like, okay, are we? So now I know if you're a Packers fan, you're probably upset. You're probably deflated. It's like, damn, again.
It's like, why? It's the why us kind of thing.
And once again, that's fine, and you have every right to feel that way. But once again, I'm not about to penalize you or kick y'all while y'all down because of a process. And don't get it twisted. They did, you did everything right or correct. However you want to look at it throughout that process. You just didn't get the result that you wanted. Don't be fooled. It's people that have done the things, have done things flawed and got a way better result, and they thought that result was because of a flawed process, and then they went on the next season, and what happened? It all crumbles because your process was all flawed.
The Giants in that playoff season,
a flawed process, but they get hot, and all of a sudden we're looking at the Giants like totally different. I can use a different team, the Lions. What did the Lions do wrong this offseason?
It was nothing that they did wrong. It's just the trends of the NFL. Like you had a genius offensive coordinator that actually stayed a lot longer than anybody ever thought that they would. And you talk about the Lions, you look on the opposite side of that. Look at the Bears. You bring in Ben Johnson, the guy that people thought like, okay, he's gonna go somewhere, and he was picking and choosing. But the front office actually did something. They didn't hit on every move that they made, but one of the things that they did, it was like, we're gonna build this offensive line. We're gonna go out and get a whole bunch of people, and we are going to try and put in one of the best offensive lines that we can. And you bring in Ben Johnson, and Caleb gets all of like the attention, but the most underrated thing about that team that has them where they are is that run game.
Oh my God.
It's almost like the run game that you had in Detroit. Because again, we talk about what happened with Detroit. Frank Ragnow retires out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? You have injuries, and so what their strength was their offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
And now that offensive line isn't a strength, it's not a terrible offensive line by any stretch of the imagination. They're not terrible.
Yeah.
But that, like, when you have a strength, especially in one of those like key areas, and then it just takes a hit, things look completely different. But then when you have something that's just decent and then you strengthen it, i.e. the Bears, now they're about to win the division.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like there are those things where it's just like you can show, like, there's moves that you can make, and then there's also making moves like with a plan. And it seems like certain teams move with a plan, and certain teams are just like, we'll get there. We'll see what happens. We'll see what works. And if we talk about this all the time, if the plan is what you did, if that's your plan, it's worse off than we thought. Because if you did that intentionally, it's some problems that we got to discuss. You know what I mean? So I just think that it's good to see some teams, really going out and trying to put things together. And, like we talk about the Bears, but we also got to give the Rams a shout out, I believe, because they have put different iterations in of, trying to be a top team. Going, they had the fucking draft picks era.
Mm-hmm.
And then they showed, you know what?
we can use these draft.
We can use these draft picks, and now they about to be looked at as a title contender with a top 10 draft pick, top 5. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just like that seems like a team that planned.
The Falcons going on the run all of a sudden is messing that pick up. But okay, yeah.
But still, it ain't like it's but it ain't like it's about to be some terrible pick.
Yeah,
it's a good pick that you're still gonna be able to add some talent to that Rams team. That's like, that could be scary.
And like you said, once again, let's think about the process. The whole offseason, what did we really question about the process? Of course, the Matt Stafford back injury was definitely a question mark. And
exactly. But to me, that's not even a process, really. That's just like, well, now you roll in the dice to try and keep Matt Stafford healthy. And it was like, okay, the offensive line, but you got McVay. And we know a good offensive head coach. He's proven that he can coach around the offensive line. But
you actually got an uptick in a Larry Jackson, you know what I'm saying? And you got an uptick in a lot of that offensive line. But what I was trying to say, remember we thought that they were going to try to trade for Jalen Ramsey again because their cornerback room was just one of the. It wasn't the Dolphins, but it was
exactly.
We thought it was going to be their Achilles heel when it comes to this season. Now it can be got. Don't get me wrong,
for sure.
And there's also another reason why Chris Shula is an up and coming emerging head coaching candidate, because what he's doing with this defense, with the deficiency that he has in his cornerback, bro, he got Emmanuel Ford playing.
Bro, he looked like what the Commanders thought they was drafting.
Exactly. And so you take pieces like that, and like you said, the other things that they're doing in the secondary to mitigate the deficiency that they do have at times with their secondary. It's like, shouts out to coaching. Like that's not breaking news that coaching matters in the NFL. Like, right. Once again, we can if this is what the type of show we want to do, we can always break this back to our team and be like, hey, see,
sure. we can tell you, we can tell you why.
Yeah, but I'm trying to avoid doing that. But it's just like the process. Like, I do want to emphasize that the process and the result are different. And if you look at each team, just look at every team and you look at their process, and then you separate the result. Could some of the process be flawed? You can use hindsight. Hindsight is always 20/20. And I get it. If you didn't believe in none of the process that they did, cool. Shouts out to you. Long as you stated it before it happened, I ain't mad at you. But like I said, I hate the hindsight warriors. Prime example, the Jets. Did we really think the Jets was going to be this bad? This bad?
Nah,
what was so wrong about their offseason process? They went and got Justin Fields, and they thought they was really about to commit to a running game and ease him along. He was going to be good enough to just stay afloat and for us to settle down. You bring in Aaron Glenn. You think with the defensive pieces they had, Aaron Glenn, what he was doing in Detroit, we didn't think this defense is ass.
Yeah, for sure.
They had to fire the defensive coordinator because the defense, like, what was wrong with the process? They had pieces.
Yeah. And then you think, oh, you coming in, you have Sauce, you have this, and it's just like, yeah, this was not what we expected. It's not what you thought. You thought he was going to be one of those coaches that's going to be able to, get every ounce of talent out of what he did have, and it just didn't work. And I believe, certain things, like there were some unfortunate things that happened, like losing. I think they lose AVT early, and you still have some, like you have some other pieces, but it's just like when you have Justin Fields, he's kind of one of them quarterbacks. Like, yeah, you want to have some stability there.
But you didn't always get bad Justin Fields.
Like, right.
It was some good Justin Fields. The first game of the season against the Steelers, he had some good Justin Fields games, and then this defense was just But my point is, the result was totally different from the process, and I was just questioning. I'm like, what was really wrong with their process? You feel what I'm saying?
Right. And again, like, we're not saying we expected them to be like a sneaky playoff contender, but this bad, like, and it's really some bad, like, no interceptions yet?
Like
how is that possible? Like, you can't even, like, you're not even around a tip ball to get something.
only 2 dropped interceptions too. Like that, I think that's worse.
Yeah, like you're not even in
Close.
competition. Like, you're not getting your hand on the ball.
Right.
And so it's just like, but and again, also I think that's like you know how we say like turnover luck is like that's like it's a thing.
Yeah, it is.
So it's almost like that's something like to me that's also not sustainable.
Yeah.
You can't go a whole nother season and only get your hand on 2 passes. 2, bro. I think I might be able to play a full NFL season and might be able to like get lucky at like deep safety and try and get 2.
See, you
know what I'm saying?
You should see, bro.
You know what I mean?
You got
another cut.
You got
and
one
another cut.
You got one seatbelt at least. You know what I'm saying?
One something. You know what I'm saying?
Prime example, the Raiders. Once again, we talk about the Raiders. Me and you both were high on at least the offense.
The offense, yes.
Hell, the defense better than the damn offense.
Which is
shouts out to Patrick Graham, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
and that's why I, like when that post you sent me about the rumors, I would keep Patrick Graham too. We've been
trying to get
we've been a big supporter of Patrick Graham here over at the 3-Man Weave because we've seen the work Big Dog been doing. So again, I definitely think that Patrick Graham he's did a hell of a job with the talent that they have, and it's just like what we saw from Geno in Seattle to now, even if you thought that the scheme that Geno was playing in Seattle was like propping him up, this like a precipitous fall of this magnitude, you're like, what? How? Like, bro, you look like when you got your jaw broke, Geno.
Yeah.
This is and that's crazy.
But like I said, you can also go to the Brock Bowers was injured majority of the year. The offensive line was definitely was always trash. Never was sold on that aspect of it. But like you said, we didn't expect them. And I was talking to my pops about this. I was like, yo, we didn't expect them to be like necessarily good. All we wanted them to be is regular bad.
Yeah,
like being regular bad is cool.
Did we even get to competitively trash yet?
No.
Like, I don't even think we got there yet. Just like, just be like a top 6-7 drafting team.
One and another team, and I'm using these teams as on purpose. The Cardinals.
Yeah.
What was wrong with their off-season process? Once again, I'm not saying if you wasn't sold on Kyler from the jump and you wasn't sold on the Cardinals, cool. Kudos to you. I'm not saying that they was gonna win the division and go to the Super Bowl or not of that. But like this bad.
And my thing is, I think, like you said, even though like we didn't necessarily like, I felt like they had some, some
pieces,
some sneaky hope. Yeah, but it's like they had some pieces, and then they went into the draft and got Walter Nolan and stole Will Johnson because of that injury. And Denzel Burke been playing decent for them.
When did they get Grant? When is Grant Williams? When Grant Williams not a rookie, is he?
No, they got him. I want to say they 2 years ago.
He's young though, but
he's young.
But like you get those injuries are unfortunate. You know what I'm saying? And the injuries that they, Walter Nolan was pretty much missed the entire year, pretty much. He had a few games. Okay, cool, that's fine. But like I said, you also went and got Josh Sweat. Got some
who's having a solid season too.
Man, like it's just unfortunate. Like you say, Kyler was okay. Kyler gets hurt. Now all of a sudden you're just done with Kyler. I'm just using. If you listen to me, what I'm saying, the process, their off-season process. Yeah, what was wrong with their process? Once again,
3-13. Like nobody expected 3-13. Well, maybe some people did, but I respectfully did not see 3-13 for this team.
So the process and the results, sometimes they align. Sometimes they align, but sometimes also it's separate. We can go. I'm gonna throw you a layup at on this one. The Bills and the Ravens were contending teams. Like they were also they was considered championship or bust was the expectation for both of the teams.
Remember what we were saying before the season? Like at least we want to see y'all at least fighting to get there and being in that position to get to that next step to play in the Super Bowl. Not necessarily, if you don't get there, it's a failed season, but that's the expectation we had. We wanted to see because if y'all came together in the divisional round and still had to go through the Chiefs or whatever to get to the AFC Championship game, so be it. But we wanted to make sure that y'all are competing and we not y'all fight okay, the Bills may not be fighting for their lives. The Ravens are fighting for their lives. The Bills, I think the Bills will still get in as a wild card. But it's like, for real?
Yeah, I think the Bills is already in.
Yeah.
Like I said, you in the wild card, and you got a surprise of this magnitude that the Patriots are, dominating the division. We'll say that. But I do got two questions about those two teams that we just mentioned. You ready for it?
Hold on, I just want to say something. The Cardinals got 25 players on IR. God dang.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, it got real.
Because I wanted to see when I was looking to see when they got Grant Williams, and I just peeped that he on IR. I was like, oh shit.
That's why I mentioned it, because he got hurt. After he got hurt, I'm not sure if it was the same game as Walter Nolan got hurt, but it was relatively close.
Yeah, he only 24 though,
so young.
But yeah, my bad. I didn't mean to cut you off.
But it's all good. I know you're gonna believe. I'm leaving this question up for you for a reason. Back to cap. There's no excuse for Josh Allen not to get to the Super Bowl this year, right? Fitz, the other Big Four, other members of the Big Four aren't in his way.
I'm going to say fact. And yes, there may be some hating here, but guess what? It's all on you. You the one that Josh Allen is the only quarterback. He's the best quarterback in the league. You can put it on. Hey, you can carry your team. This, and that, and you want to get all the praise when you do something great, make great throws and all of that stuff. But then you need more help when things go wrong. Well, guess what? I'm not rolling because you got a top 5 running back in the NFL. Hey, look, there you go. Hey, you have one of the better offensive lines in the NFL. Okay, people want to talk about their receiving core. I mean, who was Mahomes? Like, when Mahomes won the Super Bowl, wasn't Rashee Rice out for the season?
That's what you're doing?
No, I'm saying, I'm asking, was Rashee Rice out for the season?
He was in the was out for the season.
Okay. Did Mahomes have a James Cook?
Absolutely not.
Okay, so again, it seems like some of those top tier dudes, if you one of them, you can have a flawed roster and you still make the play. Hey, because I'm like, I heard, nobody does it like Mahomes and Josh Allen. We just saw Josh Allen have a chance to win the game. Well, at least tie and take it to overtime. But he played trash.
That was for the win.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm saying, if they had the opportunity to kick the field goal and take it to overtime. But you're all world quarterback. You put it in his hands, and he had the opportunity to win it.
What was
open, and it wasn't close. That looked like Josh Allen. That looked like Josh Allen pre-Diggs. When we seen him throw that bitch 5 throws into the stands and had a man just sitting there like this.
I'm letting you cook. Boy, interject is just
no. I know you're gonna interject, but I'm gonna get this off.
I'm not. I'm saying I'm letting you cook. Go ahead, cook.
So my whole thing is like, hey, dog, you gonna be going through Trevor Lawrence, Bo Nix, C.J. Stroud, Drake May. Because that's what they do, right? They put the quarterbacks against each other, right? That's what they do. They named it's quarterback versus quarterback. That's what they do, right?
So you set me up, right?
Yeah. All
right.
I haven't forgot. I haven't forgot. I can still do this.
This is what this is the part. Like, I get it. The way that they are covering Josh Allen is actually sickening. They're doing him a disservice. Like they caught him, treating him with Kane. And I get it. Equal opportunity criticism. Like I said, trust me, bro. Like I've given up this fight. Like, bro, I'm a Cowboy fan, and I ride with Dak to the wheels fall off. And I've heard the criticism how Dak get. So, and I've seen some of the things that he's done, and some of the cake that come out for some of these people when it come to other quarterbacks. So I get it. Like I said, your quarterback is part of the Big Four. Your quarterback is Burrow. And when they talk about Burrow, it's always something is he should leave, is he should do this, and he should do that, and the rhetoric is nasty. Go ahead.
Well, and the one more piece that I'm add to that is how they covered him last year when he was having one of the best seasons in the NFL. He legit had an MVP season. Chris Canty, not enough. Shannon Sharp, but who threw the interception? If he didn't have to throw the interception. Okay. If that's what we gonna do,
what we doing.
If that's what we gonna do, fine.
So like I said, I understand exactly how you feel and why you feel this way, and I'm not even saying you're wrong. You know what I'm saying? Because once again, if that's how we gonna start covering people, then we gonna start covering some things. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
For me, when you brought it, that's why I didn't want to stop you, because I knew what you were doing, and I wanted you to get your thoughts completely out. But when you brought up Mahomes and you mentioned, he did it with less weapons. His weapons are lesser than what Josh Allen did. He doesn't have this defense, and that's what I'll be wanting to explain to people, that it is a team. It is a team game, and I get it. Having an elite quarterback, having a clutch quarterback, a winning quarterback, somebody that you can believe in, is one of those things that you want to have. But at the same time, you want to have these other pieces. You want your quarterback to have weapons. Like, you don't want to send Josh. Like, you don't want to purposely send Josh Allen out there with regular weapons just because he's Josh. No, you didn't want. The Chiefs didn't want to go out there with bad weapons. Things happen. You feel what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So, but at the same time, like you said, you mean to tell you think Joe Burrow wants to lead? He wants to do this. He wants to play perfect football. You mean to tell he can't miss a pass because he know if he get a ball back, his defense gonna give it up? You mean to tell me that that's the
game he wants to play?
You don't even play Madden like this. Like, so you mean to tell me real life you want to do this? Like, so when I think about this, like, and I remember my last major blow up argument I had with one of my bros was during the Super Bowl when the Chiefs went against the 49ers. And he said this, and the funny thing about it, he repeated this damn near 10 times throughout the night. All right, Mahomes, defense gave you a chance. What you gonna do? All right, Mahomes, defense gave you a chance. What you gonna do? Like, he kept saying this, right? And then I asked him this very question. I said, okay, the 49ers lost, man. Like, they had all the pieces. Where did they go from here? Like, what did they do? He like, yeah, man, really, ain't really nothing they can do, man. They lost to Mahomes. I say, hold on, bro. You just sat here all night, praise the defense. And all of
they said they just lost to Mahomes.
And the first thing that you come out your mouth is they just lost to Mahomes. Come on, bro. Like I said, I get it. Like quarterbacks are the most important thing. Like you want to have a quarterback. You want to have a good quarterback first. Hell, if you want to have an elite quarterback. So I get these things, and like that's why I'm not looking at Josh. Like when I saw this graphic of he got to get to the Super Bowl or what else? Because look at the quarterbacks that he's going against. I'm sitting there like, bro, I wouldn't be sad if they lost to the Texans. Have we seen this defense?
No,
I wouldn't be.
It's a team of UFC fighters.
I wouldn't be surprised if they lost to the Broncos. Have we seen this defense?
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? But you're gonna sit here and under your face and be like, oh, he couldn't beat Bo Nix. No, he couldn't beat this defense. No, he couldn't. Like, and once again, that was a fight that I'm done fighting. Because if that's what you believe, if that's what you want to believe, that quarterbacks go against quarterback, and hey, all power to you, bro. All power to whoever. You know what I'm saying? That's fine. But I'm sitting here watching them, sitting there like, it's the reason. Let's use it. Josh Allen game example. It's the reason why you had to be, why you are viewed differently than your counterpart. That boy, Jalen Hurts, didn't complete a pass in that second half. And they looking at Josh Allen like, what was you doing wrong? Bro, he had to, I said he had to put the team on his back. He had to have a Superman effort to get the team, in position.
Back in the game.
And you allowed to not complete a pass in the second half and win multiple times.
And still have anybody talk about that you should be in a conversation with anybody. I'm sorry. I'm not saying where he need to go, where he should be, but I'm sorry. If you've had multiple games where they don't even call on you to try and get a win and your team still win, where you fall in that top 32 shouldn't even be a worry right now. That shouldn't even be a thought, because guess what? It's obvious there's tons of other moving pieces and parts that are extremely, extremely important to that process and how you got there and why you are there. And so, again, a lot of people within that fan base want to talk about coordinators and stuff like that. I mean, okay, maybe the coordinator ain't the best, but that coordinator also is calling plays, so a quarterback doesn't have to throw. So Josh Allen, I understand. Like I said, I'm being harsh, but that's strictly out of 100% hate because of what my quarterback had to do last year and the criticism that he got while missing the playoffs. So
you have every right to feel that way. I'm not saying you're wrong at all. Like I said,
no, I get that.
Yeah, and you actually articulating the fact of where it's coming from. You know what I'm saying? So if they actually listen to you, they will understand where it's coming from. It's just I'm not gonna go on the Jalen Hurts tangent, because at the end of the day, like I said, they're winning. I would be talking differently if I was an Eagles fan. All I would be caring about is the win. I wouldn't be out here. What?
I said, if I was an Eagles fan, I'd be like, hey, we in trouble. We are in danger. And
I would, and they feel that way.
Yeah,
they feel that way.
I think that's why they act the way they are acting, because it's just like, hey, we are in trouble. And I think also for me, seeing it, we've been on certain sides of the coin where we've actually have had these things, not trying to say oh, we got this amazing foresight, but we've been a little bit early on some of these things, and it's just we notice the problems, and it goes back to the process versus the results. Mm-hmm. We see the process, but the results are still positive. But then you start to see that decline, and next thing you know, your results change, but because that process has been the same. And so now when you don't get lucky from that process, and the process kind of starts bearing the fruit of what you kind of think it actually is going to happen, then it's like, uh-oh.
Now, this is intentional. My next question before we move on. We're going to get a little ESPN-ish. But I do
sit on up.
But I do feel, unfortunately, this is unavoidable in regards to ESPN-ish. The loser of Sunday night's game got to get fired, right? And I'm talking about John Harbaugh and Mike Tomlin. And in regards to Mike Tomlin, he shouldn't be fired. He should be either traded to another team, you know what I'm saying? Or, he should be able to do, he has built up enough credibility with his resume to exit the way that he wants to exit. You know what I'm saying? So how I'm framing this question is, we're going to go in more in depth with it. It's way more, it's deeper than just, if they lose, then we got to fire Mike Tomlin. In regards to John Harbaugh, I feel the same. I feel that this season was just unlucky.
Of course.
But at the same time, you had expectations that don't care about the luck.
Right.
So it does warrant you deserve to have some feet to your fire. You deserve to have some sense of urgency. You deserve to feel like, damn, bro, I could get fired. You deserve to have this fear of my next season, if I don't win it all, you know what I'm saying? You should be going to work that way.
And
I do feel that way.
Right. My thing is why I think that this game actually means more to John Harbaugh is because where like each coach kind of started in this era that they're in now. John Harbaugh was already on the way, like he was going to get fired that season until they played Lamar Jackson. Mm-hmm. So to me, it's almost as if, hey, this like you literally had your job saved by nothing that you really did per se outside of bringing in this kid and then being able to mid-season craft an offense for him. But the issue is now you've been through numerous iterations of offenses and now also numerous iterations of defenses. And each time it feels like something is going wrong. And I understand, like, for me, once you start seeing that joke on like Twitter where it's like, oh, it's bad because Harbaugh got a play sheet. He ain't never had a play sheet in his career. So now it's like, yeah, dog, like to me, it's like it's kind of how I felt about Norvell last season. Like, hey, bro, you was brought in as an offensive coach. You bring in Gus Malzahn, and then even that don't work, and you've never been a great recruiter. Like, what use do we have for you now? Mm-hmm. To me, at least with Mike Tomlin, you can still explain what use you have for him, even though things may have gotten stale. You can at least explain stability. To me, with what Harbaugh is going through now and the way that this team has played and the way that this team has been bounced, like in these playoffs, to me, it's like, what use do we have for you? Because it's not like you're just like losing close games. You're losing because big fumbles in big moments, like in multiple years. You're losing because sloppy play and you can't, maintain a lead. You're losing because you have a lead, and then in the fourth quarter, Derrick Henry do not touch the ball. So to me, it's like, okay, maybe we need a change. and a shakeup of the highest order, because we've shooken up the defensive coordinators. We fired Wink Martindale. We fired Greg Roman. We brought in Todd Monken. And it looked really good for a second. And now it looks stale again. We bring in, like, we had McDonald in the building. We decided we want to keep continuity. We get Zach Orr up in here. Things don't look as good as they have been, like as they did under McDonald. And we see what he is doing there. So again, it's like, what do you offer us? You a special teams guy. Special teams ain't even like it used to be. You know what I'm saying? So again, and I'm not saying like everything is like just all down in the dumps. They've had issues. They have had to deal with injuries, but we've seen that's just a part of the game.
And that's why I said I wanted to go in depth when it comes to the ESPN-ish of this in particular, because the moment that Lamar got hurt, the defense started to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, they wasn't the dominant Ravens defense that we're accustomed to seeing, but at the same time, Mike McDonald didn't just come in and just they was all of a sudden triple crown of the defense.
For sure.
It took some time for that defense to understand what he was doing.
Right.
Because once again, once he moved on from Wink Martindale, the defense was good. Yeah. And it was a surprise that he moved on from Wink Martindale. That's not how revisionist history here.
Oh no.
I know you're not. I know I was speaking in general. Okay. So that's different. It was bad. Like the beginning of the season, this defense was bad. Like it was like, boy, what are they doing? I made the wrong hire because I let who they thought was going to be the heir apparent to Mike McDonald. He ends up going to Miami. And he pop up with Zach Orr. Cool. Hey, all your hires have been hits. At some point, you're going to miss. That's Dan just Campbell. That's just the Dan Campbell. What?
Similar. Like he lost Ben Johnson, and now like the coordinators, I'm not saying it's terrible. Hear me out. But
no.
Things like it may not have been a hit. I mean, and it may not have been a miss. It may be okay. But you went from a high hit with Ben Johnson. And so now trying to sustain that, and so I'm saying that you go from McDonald.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so trying to basically transfer that over immediately, it don't hit the same. But sometimes when you when you may be on a short leash, you can't afford that. That's what I'm saying.
I had thoughts about the Lions stuff. I almost chimed in, but that's what threw me off. So that's what I had to stop.
I'm not saying it's just like
I'm gonna go with a better analogy. I think a better situation. The Bucks.
Yeah.
Todd Bowles, you had Dave Canales. Oh, offense is lit. You go get Liam Cohen. The offense is better than Dave Canales. You lose both of them. And then you go get this guy. Hey, I technically ain't really saying that he bad. If we had time to go in depth about the Bucks, we could talk about it. Because I'm not necessarily ready to blame him, but
because there was injuries, there was things that happened.
Yeah.
At Buka, he hit a wall. He hit a wall.
He definitely hit a wall.
And so it's just like
the offensive line wasn't the same thing. And
worse was
yeah. But you wasn't them. You feel what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So think about the hits that you had. Like these are hits. At some point, you how we talk about hits. At some point, you coming out the studio, hey, that song ain't like laughing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you gonna go from Pan to the Timmy Turner.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes, hey, it seemed good until it's time to press play.
let's get back on the subject. When it comes to John Harbaugh, like I said, I'm a fan, so it may sound like I'm caping for him. Like I said, I think they just have had bad luck, and at some point you cannot plan for the bad luck, and sometimes the luck is just inevitable. Like I said, the fumbles.
Yeah.
The Lamar not playing like MVP self at times in the playoff. Is that on you? No. These blown leads are. You feel what I'm saying? These blown leads are. Derrick Henry not touching the ball like in the second half after scoring.
Right.
You mean to tell me you can't? You don't need a play sheet. You can hit that button and say, "Hey, look, he ain't touched the ball."
And it's like he had, and then also throwing in like, hey, Keaton Mitchell got some burn late in the season. It's like, what we've been doing with him? We knew he was like, we knew he could do that.
What the hell Ali doing in the game?
Who the hell is this? Ali? This is not the same lunatics. Get his ass off the field.
You'll put Murphy Lee on this damn. Keywan. What Keywan?
Keywan. Someone get Keywan. Joel. God damn it. Roll again.
Get Ali up out of them.
What is he doing in this game?
Yo, both of the Alis don't deserve that.
None of them. Not one of them. God damn.
But
every time I think about this, like something like that, it just reminds me of why Zach Taylor need to be fired.
I try to avoid this, bro, because we can keep doing. We can do this all night. But in regards to Tomlin, bro, at some point, change is going to have to happen
for sure
in Pittsburgh. You know what I'm saying? And
either at coach or how they do things.
And how they do things have been different.
Right.
Khan came in and did some things, bro. This roster, we talk about the process, right?
Yeah.
The process since he's taken over, that process has been picture perfect, flawless. I'm not even gonna cap, bro.
Steelers fans have loved what he was doing in the offseason.
They've been getting everything they wanted. I mean, not everything, but they've been getting what they wanted. Con season and all that. He's been doing this thing. But in regards of how you go about getting your coaches, your philosophy of how to win games, at some point, you, Tomlin, you're going to have to modernize, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm sorry, I burped right.
Boy, got acid reflux, boy.
It's really
been going crazy.
Crazy. I'm sorry, y'all. But and I understand. I do understand his thought process, bro. And I'm not gonna go in depth about it again. But like I said, once you see how other teams win, you can convince yourself that, hey, bro, I'm not crazy. Like you feel what I'm saying? Like we can win this way.
You could definitely feel as if like you aren't far off. You can do things, and again, I think what makes it really tough for both of these coaches is truly because of what happened to this division. This division was literally just handing it away to each other, and that's one thing that I could say. If Tomlin loses this game, that's why I would say he needs to be fired. My reason for him and Harbaugh are actually completely different.
Okay.
Because to me, I think Harbaugh is like kind of like what I said. It's just like, what value do you bring here? Like you've had different iterations and we just haven't kind of like got there. With Mike Tomlin, it's like, bro, you had 3 months of the season damn near with no Joe Burrow and no Lamar, and you playing for your life. And I'm not saying, and again, I'm not necessarily like, because again, let's not forget, one of them losses came against Joe Flacco.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess they ended up winning that game. That kind of like really put Cincinnati basically out of it, but it didn't quite yet. But it's like some of them games, like, hey, dog, this would change your whole entire season, the whole trajectory of your season. And this division was low-key handed to you on a platter. And so to me, that's what I mean when I say, like, it might just be time for a change, because just like the status of this division on what we thought it was preseason and where it was during the season was literally kind of like, it's yours for the taking.
We can say that, and I'm not saying you're wrong, but when I kept emphasizing the process and the result, now this is one of those times that we thought that this was their process. This was their process. They were going to they were going to end up in this road here, regardless.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Now I get it. They had some help, like you said. Burrow was out. You had no business, you know. And Lamar was out, and the Ravens was going through a funk. You had an opportunity, an uptick to take a chokehold on the division. But at the end of the day, they are who they are. They can win Sunday.
Yeah, they definitely can.
They can win Sunday. But then what? But then what? Because if they go out there and lose again, once again, that's just, and I'm not saying this like I'm hating on negative, but this is what we thought. Get to the playoffs or get close to the playoffs and you lose again.
Right. But like my whole thing is just like, again, like I said, I know it may seem like, oh, you know, we was hot, but the Bengals with Joe Flacco, bro was new there. Just last week, losing to the Browns. Like another one. Like I know everybody wants to say, oh, you know, it's a division game. I get that.
That's true.
But you still, to me, those are things that you really like. That's how you put your stamp on this season. You win that game, this don't matter. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. You win that Bengals game, this don't matter. And we just been talking about the Bills. They put up 10 points against the Bills. Like, and we've been talking about the Bills defense is the problem. Yeah. You put 10 points, 7 points against the Bills. I'm sorry, they put 10 points up against who did they put 10 points up against? It don't matter. I'm trying to look it up while talking. But yeah. It don't matter. Oh, it was 12 against the Bengals.
That defense?
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And like, so you think about it, losing to the Browns, only putting up 12 against the Bengals, who we know defense ain't like that. You put up 7 against the Bills. Those are 3 opportunities where we say, like, you could, like, even just one of them, the division is yours. You win 2 of them, you ran away with it and locked it up. And you had, what was it, a 3-game lead, 2-game lead when Lamar went out. Like, when Lamar was playing, y'all had a lead. And so to be playing, that's what I mean, to be playing for your life right now and the way things have happened, and for the Steelers to believe they are the franchise that they are, to me, what has been your result, regardless of the process, has not been good enough. Because I think eventually sometimes we've seen dudes get fired just based off of the result. Shit, Marty Schottenheimer got fired after a 14-2 season.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Because of the result. You know what I mean? We've seen Andy Reid go to Super Bowls. You couldn't get there. People felt like, oh, you're not running the ball enough. But hey, the process was there. But eventually we want if we feel like we hitting on the process or the process is solid or whatever, you want to at least start to see some results. Like we've seen, in this iteration, we've seen the Steelers lose to a Browns team in the playoffs. It's not good enough. And this ain't even come like you know me, I'm trolling. This is like, to me, this is like, I'm not even trolling. I'm being dead serious. Like, you want your result to start matching up, and you're not there. And it's been too long. It's been like, yes, you've had the stability and you've had your chances, And you've had we haven't been able to find a quarterback thing. But it's only so much that, all right, but 9-7, 9-8, 10-8, or 10-7. Like, I get it. Yeah, you're not losing. But is it the result that we are setting out for? Is it the goal that we setting out for? And eventually, yeah.
Before we move on, though, like when we talk about the playoffs, who are you confident in?
The Texans. And so the Texans, and here's why.
All right.
Like the AFC, I was gonna go to AFC, NFC.
Go ahead.
I'm not confident in anybody in the AFC for real, but I think the Texans actually have the best defense in the AFC in the playoffs. Some may say Jesse Minter got the Chargers playing really well, and yes, they are. But I just think it's so many other holes on the other side of the ball for them, even though Herbert's been doing his thing. They've got, Quinn Johnson. He actually be catching the balls. But I think that the way that the Texans defense actually plays come playoff time, that's one of them defense where it's just going to be like they could win one of them 3-0 games in the playoffs because it's just like, bro, in the playoffs, you go out there with Stingley, Lassiter, Petrie.
Did you freeze? Yeah, he did.
Okay, I think I'm back. So yeah, I just think that. All right, but yeah, so I think that on all levels, that's a defense that's going to give you hell, and they have certain pieces that, regardless of what you try to do, they can make it a long day for you. That's why I feel like I have the confidence in them in the AFC.
I want to believe, and then every time I get hyped about the Texans, they offense just remind you how, like, bruh, like,
right.
Like, it's like, God damn, it's like you cannot go to the playoff with your offense this bad, like this inept, like this, like.
But that's what I'm saying. It's hard to pick a team to be like, oh, I'm confident in this team. Well, in my eyes, it's hard to pick a team from the AFC to be like, oh, I'm confident in this team. That's why I went with the Texans, because I feel like that's the best unit that I can believe in the AFC right now.
But that's halfway my point. Like, in regards of, like, when we go back to, should Josh Allen, he should definitely get to the Super Bowl because he's the best quarterback left, right? It's like, bro, what? Like, these like, they can lose to anybody.
Yeah.
Just off the strip, like say, like, am I confident in the Jags? No. Can they go out there and go to the AFC Championship? Yes.
Yes.
Like, am I confident in the Broncos? Like, because I do think Bo Nix is like Jalen Hurts. But at the end of the day, he figured out he gets it done. You know what I'm saying?
And he still got Sean Payton.
So, would I be surprised if they went to the AFC Championship? No. Hey, I picked them to win the division anyway. You know what I'm saying? Am I about to go ahead and, pat myself on the back for this? No, because am I confident that they're going to do any? They could lose in the first round. Am I going to be surprised? No. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Chargers are not going to win anything if Greg Roman is offensive coordinator. I'm going to stamp
Absolutely
that.
not.
Like, at this point,
look,
like,
we talked about that. We talked about that when he was with Lamar.
Yeah.
We talked about when with Lamar and when they hired him.
He's a good, and you can't do this like this. You can't hire coaches like this. He's a good stabilizer. He's a good get you back on. Get you back on point. Get you to the path that you need to get to. Like I said, because let's be honest, when he took over and was offensive coordinator for the Ravens for Lamar, he helped him out. He reached his peak. That's fine. He had no business being the offensive coordinator for the Chargers. Like, I get it.
They didn't need
You didn't need Herbert to do. You didn't need Herbert to be this.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? You needed
someone that was going to open shit. Like, you needed someone to open it up.
Yes. You needed a modernized offensive coordinator. Like you said, you have Harbaugh for the stability. Hey, look, this is how you need to do it. This is how you no turnovers, baby. Calm down. You know what I'm saying? I got confidence. That's what you got Harbaugh for. You don't need Roman for that. Exactly. So that's why I'm and I don't want to be harsh. I get it. The low-hanging fruit is their offensive line. So that's fine. Yeah. But Greg Roman, he's not going to call a game he's not going to outcoach these defensive coordinators. Exactly. Is what I'm saying. It's like you're not going to have a coaching advantage at all against any of them.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not confident. Yeah. I like Harbaugh. I think Harbaugh was a little early, and he sustained them being early, being premature how they got here. And shouts out to them. And like you said, Herbert, man, Herbert is nice, bro. Like, so he's finally warranted some of the accolades and some of the praise that he got. Finally, now it's finally catching up. It's finally legit. I get it. I wasn't wrong. I was just early. Yeah, cool. Shouts out to you. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of sauce that they was putting on Herbert and a lot going on. Like, he wasn't matching up to a lot of those, praise. I like the tough. I like the gritness. I like his talent. I like his ability. I like what he's doing. He one of them ones. You know what I'm saying? He one of them ones. Yeah. I'll say that. You know what I'm saying? But he's being held back by his offensive coordinator.
Exactly.
It's like, God damn, bro. It's like, okay, you want Herbert to do something amazing. It's like, but damn, bro, Greg Roman called Power 21. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Like again?
Again.
All
right. Like Novocaine, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Just give some time. It's gonna work.
But so, that's kind of go ahead.
No, I was gonna change to the NFC, so I was gonna say go ahead. Like, who you got the most confidence in the NFC?
I was gonna say the Rams. I was. And then the last 10 days, they lost everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
You lost the number one seed, the MVP, and the division. Like
the triple crown.
Like,
that is not the triple crown you want.
In 10 days, like, and I get it. McVay, he's McVay, Stafford, that connection is good. And I don't want to come across as hate, but it's like they lost me. Like they lost me.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't want to talk on both sides of my neck. I wouldn't be surprised if they went to the NFC Championship, bro.
For sure.
Because I want to defend Sam Darnold because I don't want to sound like them. Like, oh man, I don't.
He make it tough. He make it tough. He make it tough.
That's why I ain't gonna do it. Like, I'm not about to sit here and defend you, bro.
We just got back. We ain't about to just spend the first episode trying to explain why you could do it.
Yeah, like, bro, you out here getting out. You you were struggling when Phillip Rivers came back, bro. Like, come on now. Now I get it. You was going against the Colts defense, and he was going against the Seahawks defense. I get it. You had no business looking like Phillip Rivers.
Right. And my whole thing is Phillip Rivers is the one going against the Seahawks defense.
And you look at all right.
And you look like Phillip Rivers going against the Seahawks defense.
It was a field goal game.
You look like what we thought Phillip Rivers would look like. Like, so again, like, this is one of them seasons, bro. Like, this is the NFL's nightmare season because it could be some of the worst Super Bowl matchup that the NFL has ever wanted. That, like, you know what I'm saying? But so, like, you know how I said, like, I said I have the most confidence in the Texans defense. I don't have, like, because of what we've seen from the Rams, I'm not picking a team on who I have the most confidence in, but I'm going to say the team that I feel like can catch fire in the playoffs and do it is the Bears. because the way that because we just talked about that running game, and so you go out there with Swift and Monangai and Ben Johnson calling those plays, and it reminds me of the Bengals of 2021. Like it ain't the best defense, but they will get you the ball to get you some extra possessions. So if they can, if they just get one or two extra possessions and then they get a lead, they can make this game real short for you. And yeah, Stafford's having an amazing season. But what does Stafford like to do?
Throw that ball away.
He turned into Santa Claus. Again, let's not forget. He hit a Jaquiski Tartt in the face mask to lose the NFC Championship game. He threw 2 in the Super Bowl. So it ain't like he's immune, like he just lock in the playoffs and he just zero in and don't give you no chances. So again, like I said, I think the Bears can get hot. I'm not saying that I have any like confidence in them, but if it's a team in the NFC that I feel like can just go on a heater and win 3-4 games in a row, it'll be the Bears.
I can see. Ain't nobody wrong.
Yeah, and also remember my hot take. The Panthers gonna win a playoff game and might win 2. Hey, bro, look, they can mess around, get in there, and goddamn Sam Darnold throw them 2 of them things, and they can look, and they can go and then end up going to the Bears or something. And
he just played the Seahawks and played the whole game and had 54 yards.
Hey, it's a learning experience. That second time come around, hey, look, the second time when it matters.
Yeah,
when it matters.
You got 108. Huh?
Hey,
that's all you need.
If it win the game, look, he can win it without completing the pass in the second half.
It's
possible. It's possible.
And at the same time, like I said, I can also see the Eagles. I can see the Eagles losing immediately. And I can
going
see
to the Super Bowl again.
Going to the Super Bowl, bro. Like, I wouldn't be surprised at either outcome at this point.
Yeah.
And that's just the way they play. This defense is amazing. You know what I'm saying? This offense can figure it out at one point, and this offense can be like, nah, we all right. Nah, we ain't gonna do nothing. Or I could be reading the book on the sideline, bro. Like,
yeah, for sure. For sure.
All right, man.
Feels good.
We got some college football.
Feels good to be back.
It do.
It feels good to be back.
Man, we had some college football the playoffs, man.
Yeah.
My team unfortunately lost in the Cotton Bowl to Miami, man. Shouts out to Miami, man. I think it's weird. I think it's funny. The season is long, bro. Like, I remember a part of the season where they asked Carson Beck something, and they were just so disgusted with what he said or how he answered it, and you would have thought that they wasn't 11-2. You know what I'm saying? And then they went out there and played this game. I'm sitting there like, but what was it? But what happened in the middle? It's just they had an amazing game plan. They had a way that they wanted to attack this team offensively and defensively, basically both of the trenches. So shouts out to them. Shouts out to everybody else, man. But I mean,
no, we ain't about to do shouts out to everybody else.
I was giving you the floor.
Okay. Oh, okay. My fault.
Yeah, I was giving you the floor because this is your bag. It's your bag,
man. I want to give a shout out to the Indiana Hoosiers, Big Sig, Elijah Surratt, both the running backs for Indiana, the defense, and Mendoza too. He kept that, like, Mendoza's not like, he ain't lighting it up. He ain't, giving you like these like 300-yard performances, but boy, he's steady than a motherfucker. And somebody was saying, like, on Twitter, they were saying like Indiana's full of 24-year-olds, 23, 24-year-olds and fifth year and fourth year seniors. That's why they winning. So Like, yeah. And another reason why this team is disciplined. Like that team, like they do their job. And I think that's what like that's a great thing. Like that team does their job and they hold it down. And so my thing about it is like they did what they were supposed to do. They got after it. They made all like they made the plays when they was there to be made. You know what I mean? And so like this, I'm glad Indiana won, especially as a higher seed. But my fear with all these other teams losing to these, you know, the teams that get to buy, my biggest fear is that's going to give them more reason to be like, we should expand. Look, all these underdogs are winning. And that's my fear because, you know me, I don't feel like I didn't like going to 12. At minimum, I felt 6 should have been the sweet spot. But here we are. But I think there are some teams that have gotten in and have shown like, yeah, like this is like we're one of those teams that can compete. And I like that Ole Miss was able to actually get a shot to prove it, despite losing their coach, that they could win without having, you know, a really large piece of some of the things that made them tick. Now, had they been in a different conference, I don't know if they would have gotten that shot, but there it is. So but also with some of how things have played out, I also believe that there needs to be a way that this process just gets standardized. If we're going to have to me, if we're going to do a 12-team playoff, it needs to be the top 12 teams. If we're going to do, and if it like, it needs to be the top 12 teams. And guess what? Now, like I've been saying for years, the group of 5 teams, they got to separate and do their own thing because like they keep trying to prove that you don't belong here when technically you've been doing some of the same things that some of these other big name programs have been doing in these losses, but you get blamed for it. You get talked about like you don't belong here. When these other teams get in here and get dominated, oh, it's the winning team that did the dominating, and oh yeah, this is a real championship contender. When you get dominated, oh, see, that's why Notre Dame should have been in. Oh, you got dominated, that's why such and such should have been in. And I think that's not fair to these teams because I do think that there are some of these group of 5 teams that could get in here and win it. And like I said, like before when we were still at that 14 playoff, I say it all the time. They snubbed Cincinnati. And then the following year, they let Cincinnati in, and that's when they got beat. But the year before, they were supposed to like have Cincinnati in back when Desmond Ridder was there, and they lost to Georgia, and that's like was what they used to kind of say that they didn't belong. The whole time when James Wiggins was in there and he was healthy at left tackle, Cincinnati was neck and neck in there, and they was hanging in there with Georgia. That's the difference between some of these Power 5 or Power 4 teams or Power 3, whatever you want to call it, Power 2 teams versus these group of 5 teams is depth. Sometimes these starting caliber players are right on par. And like there's another thing that we talked about. Sig doing it with JMU dudes, cast-offs that weren't starting at other places. And then he got Francisco Mendoza from Cal. So it's like, it wasn't like he's put together a team full of 5 stars himself. A lot of these dudes came from one of those group of 5 teams that was in the playoffs that people said didn't belong. And now they're the number 1 team in the nation. But they were able to put it together. They've been able to grow and mature as a team because that's what they do. And they've been coached. Like this is one, like you can see it from this team that, oh, this is a team where coaching matters. And so I think that the NCAA sucks because they ain't never got shit right. Even when stuff is good, they go and fuck it up by touching shit.
Quit touching shit.
Gotta quit touching shit. And again, the greed. It's the greed that's messing everything up. Everyone's complaining about the transfer portal. Everyone's complaining about NIL. Now they're trying to do all this stuff to get Congress in. But whole time the NCAA was scared to call a spade a spade. Y'all treat these student athletes like employees, but you don't want to pay them like employees. You don't want to treat them like employees. You don't want to call them employees because guess what? Then they get to unionize. You have to collectively bargain with 17, 18, 19, 20, 21-year-olds, 22-year-olds, 23-year-olds. And you know what these old rich motherfuckers don't want to do? Negotiate with an 18-year-old. So no, they allowed it to be the Wild Wild West. And now that's what everybody's complaining for. They tried to fix the transfer portal, and you still got dudes fighting for a national championship and putting their name in the portal. Don't none of this make sense? Because my whole thing is, why would you switch the transfer portal to this week when you know you got 3 more weeks of games? What sense does that make? Oh, because we don't want to put these other. No. Guess what? You know you could do it in May. You could do it in spring break. People can put their name in the transfer portal in April, right, or May, right after the spring game, and then you could transfer in the summer. Because guess what? Now you can enroll into the summer classes at their school and start taking summer classes and make the summer camp or fall camp, or even just enroll in that fall semester, but go there to practice after the season's over. You can do this shit just like NFL free agency. Do this shit over the summer. None of this stuff has to overlap. You did all of these changes, not making no rules. And again, they did all you had to do was pay people, make them employees. A tiered system where every single freshman, regardless, this is what you're gonna make when you step into Power 5. Bro, you could have just did it only for the Power 5 if you wanted to. You could have did it based off of school revenue from title, from all your sports or whatever the case may be, and split it up that way. But dog, you fucked up, and you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. So now it's literally the Wild Wild West.
You can't put the toothpaste back in the tube, but you can do some things that can make this thing better. Like you can modernize, you can see your mistakes that you've made, and you can correct them. Like you can fix it. You can fix it. Sure. It's fixable.
Absolutely.
If you want to fix it. And that's my thing. It's like,
are you confident they can do it?
Oh hell no.
Yeah. Yes. And that's what I'm saying. Like we know, like everybody's giving the NCAA all types of ideas of what they could do. Are we confident that they are going to be able to do it, or want to do it, or care to do it?
It's the want to, in my point. I think it's the want to at this point. I don't think they really want to, because like you said, it's been way too many good ideas that have been floated around that you can at least sprinkle some of it, and you don't even have to do it 100%. Like, but you can do something. You can try, and I don't think they try. I think they want this at this point, or they want somebody else to come fix it. And that's the nasty part.
Yeah, chaos. They love it.
But man, this so good.
Yeah, I hope to do this again with you, my brother. I'm back. I'm back. I'm ready. Just let me know. I'm ready. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to kick this thing off, and we ready for playoff football.
Yeah,
my son's still here, so we gonna have some basketball talk too.
Yo, when we talk about the NBA, that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be a funny conversation because
for sure.
Yeah, that's gonna be a funny conversation.
A lot's going on. Yeah. A lot's going on.
And it's not necessarily bad.
Man.
But yeah, man. But I'm Hill. It's AJ. Some of y'all the 4s, some of y'all the Fab 5. And we are.